Sure.
with anybody regarding that. That's not a problem. As far as my direct contact information, that's really not information that
Okay.
should be shared beyond you.
Well, and I guess my question is, a lot of people are trying to help each other, figure out, how do I get a refund, with the game, and what they've done. Like, I laugh. I found out today because somebody that's also been kind of a big proponent on the boards. They were mentioning, hey, they banned me, so I can't purchase gems anymore, and I was like, what do you mean? They're like, oh yeah, you can't, they've, even though you've done nothing wrong, they've made it so you can't, do anything but, play with what you have, not go anywhere else in the game. And so he's like, you should try it out. I'm like, well, I don't want to buy it. And I said, I'll try it. And so yeah, it won't authorize any payment on anything, what I'm saying, whether it's Amazon, Apple, or Google, or anything. So, and I contacted them, and they're like, well, we're just upset you said that about us. It's like, what?
So you mean the app itself has shut down so that you can't make purchases?
Oh yeah. I mean, for me and a few other individuals, and so and they're just like, I can't, we can't believe you would say that about us. I'm like, for all this time I've supported you guys, and now you guys get mad that I've shared what y'all have done wrong. But anyways, people are just, some people are having success getting refunds, other people aren't. I just want to help them get refunds, if they're eligible for it, obviously. And that's, I guess, is referring to this case number better than everyone having their own case number?
Not really.
Okay.
And the only reason why I say not really is just because this case number is specific to you.
Okay.
It links back to your Apple ID account, any
Okay.
interaction that you and I have had
Okay.
regarding it. So it's not really anything that's kind of generalized to the Magic app issue going on.
Sure.
It's just specific to you and the interactions that we've had, conversations, and everything that we've noted for us.
Well, and I mean, that's it's like one of the guys was talking with Google today. He was he'd recorded the call, and he sent it to me to listen to it. And the guy's like, oh yeah, man, we've been getting a lot of phone calls about this app. And we're like, okay. I mean, so we know it's taking a lot of ground, and obviously over the last 2 weeks they haven't appreciated us investigating and finding out what we found out. So
Sure.
I mean, we didn't know what to do. So I think I sent you a link. Or I don't remember if I did, if I emailed that back. I don't remember. I had a link showing where they're giving like gems to the moderators and everything else, and I mean, we've collected screenshots, and so we're just trying to do what we can do to help the community as a whole. And the companies really they won't respond to questions on Facebook. They pretty much tell everybody in support, when you contact support, well, you have to believe us. But when you look at their history, when they took all the gems for people from all those Abyssal Treasure events, which is where I got that refund back in December, from you guys, they didn't refund anyone anything. I mean, we're talking all those gems, 40 million accounts spent, and for a month and a half, I kept spending trying to show that it was not fixed, which is why I kept spending. I'm like, look, I cleared it again. It's not fixed. They're like, oh, it's a bug, and they're like, we won't refund anything. I'm like, if you wouldn't take care of people back then, why would we believe you're taking care of us now? You know what I'm saying? So we're just trying to figure out what we need to do to, as a community, help everybody. I mean, succeed. I mean, it's been sad to hear some of the stories across all 400 something servers.
Sure. Yeah. No, I get that. There's, like I said, there's no problem with you giving out the case number.
Sure.
I don't know how much help it's going to be to anybody because, like I said, it's specific to your account.
Yeah.
And like as far as my, all of my contact information.
That's what. Yeah. I didn't want to give it out without asking.
Sure. Yeah, and I appreciate that. It's really basically going to be everybody that's used iTunes for their purchases will just need to contact to have their account reviewed, to see if there's anything, that can be done for them. Because I can't speak to anybody else's account or what anybody else has received or anything without actually looking at it.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I've seen tons of pictures of the stuff that's refunded, or when people post, hey, look what I got back in my bank account, or, posted the stuff on that, and then other people are like, you know, they offered me $10. I'm like, well, I don't know. So, you know, would it be impossible to set up like a case number that we could share in the sense of not necessarily attributed to mine, but like, you know, hey, if somebody calls and they flag this, then we know it's that same repetitive issue that everyone's calling about versus, you know, 500 people call and they're all saying the same thing, but they're talking to somebody different, and every different, you know what I'm saying? Like some guys are like, I talked to somebody and they're like, oh yeah, we can help. And then they're like, then I talked to a person had that, and the supervisor, and they're like, yeah, we can't help you. And so, you know, there's
actually not a way to make like one big general case, just because every interaction that calls in gets linked to your specific Apple ID account. So there's no way to kind of generalize it. And I mean, everything that we get, we have to log in specific ways. So if there's, and I actually, you know, submitted over to our engineering team after you and I talked what was going on for them to look into it. And then all of the logging is done in a manner that so it catches things like that.
Yeah.
You know, so that if we're getting an influx of calls about certain, you know, specific things, it'll go to that department, and then they'll create, you know, like a company-wide, you know, information and stuff. But
so what do you do, like when the company did what they just did to me, where I've been a patron all this time, haven't had it, you know, haven't had any issues, you know what I'm saying, and then suddenly they say, we're done with you because of what you said about us. I mean, what happens to me then? And you know that, I mean, what do we do about that? Because I'm not the only one, and now it's like, well, now I can't do anything.
Sure.
I mean, is there?
Unfortunately, it's the developer's discretion. You know, if they're allowed to do stuff like that because it's their servers and they can deny access and close accounts. And
based on the.
Nothing that we can do about that.
Based on the fact that their feelings got hurt, though, I mean, and they get to walk away with your money.
I mean, that would be something, you know, possibly to take up, you know, with a legal, you know, somebody on the legal side.
But it's an international law. I mean, we've already talked to lawyers. I mean, we're dealing with an international company. The legal. You know, I mean, the legal ability to do anything on that end is pretty much minimalistic. Now, you know, a few of the guys talked, and I called you about that earlier. You know, they were looking at class action lawsuits versus the companies that don't want to support, you know, players that have been abused on that. So, I mean, there's a few guys that are more. I'm not a lawyer. I mean, I've had a bunch talk to us. We collaborate as a group, and so there are some based on laws that I don't remember because I'm not a lawyer. You know, about, you know, doing stuff. And so I'm like, I don't know, guys, but I mean, you know, how does that work then against guys like us that are suddenly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're allowing somebody to take all my money, say, I don't like what you said about me, which there's nothing in the clause that says you can't say you don't like what we do, and then walk away with that. I mean, how's that fair?
I understand that it certainly, you know, doesn't come across as fair. I get that. If there was something that I could do to reinstate your account with them, I certainly would, but there's just nothing that we can do in regards to that.
Is there a way, is that grounds for saying if they're going to do that to you, then that we could refund your money for that? I mean, do you see what I'm saying? I mean,
I do see what you're saying.
Why?
It wouldn't change the, you know, the answer that was already provided regarding the refund.
For my account.
Correct.
So there would be no way to refund my money, even if they just took it. I mean, I'm just going to say this, you know, let's say, you know, I started the game and they took it all. As of yesterday, I dropped $1,000, and they say, hey, thanks for it. We don't like you. You're done. And they walk away with it. There'd be no recourse to get my money back. Because that's equivalently what they've done.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's really not. There's really not a way for me to, if you know, would have spent $1,000 yesterday after we'd already talked and went through all this and stuff, you know.
Well, I mean, I haven't spent a dime. You know, I haven't spent a dime.
I know. It's kind of hard to speculate on those what-if sort of situations. You know, like I said, I know it's upsetting that they've kind of shut you down, and even though you're not planning on doing anything, you know, or buying anything more from them.
But can you? I mean, but you know,
there's just not anything that we we can do about them closing your gamer account down.
But if you look at what I've spent, obviously, and you look at my account with you guys, I've never had an issue. I mean, I've never had an issue for as long. I mean, it's been years. I've never asked for refunds on other games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've dropped money on lots of other games. I mean, lots of money on other games. Never said, hey, I want my Clash of Clans money back, or my, gosh, I don't even know all the games my kids and I play together. You know what I'm saying? And then suddenly a company, do you know what I'm saying? I mean, how's this going to sound to the community that, no offense, Apple says you're screwed? You know, any company, any game can take your money, close your account, and walk away. Because that's what I'm going to say. I mean, that's what I'm going to be like, here's what I'm told. You know, any of you at any moment, if you say something bad, could lose everything you've spent. I mean, I know a guy that's dropped $25,000 on this game who is livid that he's been, you know, competing against this. And I say, hey, man, whatever you do, don't post anything bad. Don't say anything bad in chat, because they could close your account and you'd be done. And they'd walk away with all your money, all your hard-earned money, and we're out of luck. I mean, I'm trying to be polite.
Really is their right. It is. There's nothing that we can do about that. That's on the developers.
But
Terms and conditions.
So, and I know you're busy, and I'm not trying to take up your time, and I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this out on you, because I mean, I know you guys have policies and stuff in place, but I mean, you guys realize the risk this puts you at having that stance, right? You know, there are a lot of, you know, the guys, I mean, when I say this, there are guys looking into this legally. There are tons of clauses where you're not protecting the consumer at all that's using your services from unfair play, unfair anything, you know, I mean, and that's okay. That's what you're saying. It's okay because you've given permission to the developers to treat your Apple customers like that.
Anything such as that is nothing that I would be able to speak to. As far as the laws and the clauses,
yeah.
And you know, that's all getting into the legal aspect of stuff that I have no idea. I know. And that's like any of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would all need to go through our legal department. So I really. I can only talk to you in regards to what I know about.
And,
you know, I don't know any about the fair play stuff, all of that.
Yeah.
That's nothing that I can speak to. I can only, you know, go over with you what I can.
And is there anything
else would have to be directed to Apple's legal department.
Is there anybody that I could talk to try and pursue this higher up with the whole position of what's being done to us as a community, which we have no recourse, and the loss of our time and money? You know what I'm saying?
There really, honestly, wouldn't be anybody else for me to send you to that you could talk to. Like I said, you know, if you have a representation or somebody that wants to reach out to Apple's legal, you can certainly do that. I submitted it the last time that we talked on the 8th. I sent it over to our department that looks into that stuff. There's, you know, just nobody else that I could send you to go over this. I've already documented and done everything, you know, that can be done through us.
Yeah, if I log it in right now on my phone and try to do something, would you see what would happen if I try to do it?
You mean as far as trying to make a purchase?
Yeah.
I would only see it if a purchase actually processed through and it came up, you know, and it billed through us.
And if I did that, and you know, and obviously I wouldn't want it, but just to see if it showed you, you know what I'm saying? Would that be something? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm really at a loss here for. I mean, gosh, I'm.
You're wanting to go in now and make a purchase to see if it goes through, and then me refund you for it?
Yes. Is that possible? I don't want the purchase. I just want to show and see that it's not working. Does that make sense?
Okay, I understand what you're saying, and you've already tried it, right? And
yes. I didn't know if that's why it would show you on your system. You know, hey, it's not going through, which is why I was wondering.
No, it won't.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll only show us once. You know, if the purchase is actually made.
Yeah,
and I mean, I can see that there's nothing wrong with your account because you've downloaded other content.
Yeah, I tried buying like a $5 pack, you know, just somebody's like, hey, everybody, we're getting banned. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's what I said. And then I was like, well, it's not going through. I mean, I spend more money, sadly, I hate to say, than I'd like to talk about on stuff like this, but
Sure.
I guess so. There's no way we could.
I know you're frustrated that we're kind of at a wall where, you know, as much as I wish I had more that I could do for you, I just really don't.
And
I know the account is, you know, them locking you out just adds to the frustration. But like I said, there's no way that I can overrule what they've done.
And there's no exceptions. Like, I mean, you know, you talk about how you're willing to give the one-time refund, you know what I'm saying? Which was a valid reason, you know what I'm saying? Again, they were doing what they were doing, which was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And here again, we see they're doing what they're doing is wrong. And then now we see they're doing even worse by doing this to players that haven't done anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way to make an exception and say, hey, you know, we appreciate what you've been doing. We, you know, you've been with us for X number of years. You've bought countless movies, spent tons of money on all these other apps for your kids and yourself. You know, we see that it's there. There's no way to make an exception for me. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, and I'm very sorry, Sean, but there's not a way for me to make another exception.
All right. Well, I mean, I appreciate it. When I originally intended the call, it was to ask about your information, and then that happened, so that's why I was asking about it now. I didn't know about it at the time. But all right, well, I'm not going to beat you up, Teresa. It's just a bad situation.
No problem, Sean.
Well, I mean,
like I said, if anything comes across my desk and anything changes, I will be sure to let you know. Absolutely, I would give you a call.
Is there
any changes that come across?
Is there anything I can tell the others again to say, hey, when you're calling, do this, or you know what I'm saying? Because
there's not. Honestly, they'll just have to call in and state their case and have their account reviewed. And I can say, as far as I am aware, you know, there's nothing specific that can be done to guarantee any kind of refund.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
I wish you a good day.
All right, Sean. You too. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. Well, for those of you that heard that call, obviously life did not bode well for me. It's a bad situation out there, people. You are at the hands of the developer. Not only could they ban you for getting a refund, at any moment they want, they can make it so you can't purchase anything and your account is nothing. They can ban you at any moment they want. So I wish you luck. I wish you be safe. And until next time, enjoy it.